If you are anything like me, you probably have a dream of owning a gajillion rental properties and making $20,000 a month in passive income, right? But as somebody who is very new to real estate and real estate investing, it's so daunting to figure out where to even start and how to take that first step and make it into your first property, which is why I decided to create this series. I know there's so many stories out there about investors who started from nothing and then now, they have 300 properties, but I want to log what does it look like week to week to get from zero to maybe even owning your first property. I'm going to document the learnings, the resources that I use so that hopefully we can walk the path together to getting our first of many investment properties. My name is Alice Lee and I'm a Georgia real estate agent on the path of becoming a real estate investor. And today I want to talk about where to get started. I think there's so many different resources out there. Even if you type in real estate investing, it's just overwhelming to figure out where to get started. And I think I felt the same when I started working in real estate as well, because working on growing my real estate business, there's so many different lead sources and ways that you can get business. And I feel the same way when looking at real estate investing. Yes, I have knowledge in real estate, how transactions work, but I think the knowledge gap that I'm missing is how do I figure out the financing piece? How do I figure out how to analyze different properties? And then eventually purchasing the property and figuring out how to manage while cash flowing and all of that. So let's talk about the first steps. I took a couple weeks to dive deep into a lot of different resources, and I think even before diving in deep, you need to really believe that you can make this happen for yourself. Because for the longest time, I didn't even think about being a real estate investor just because I thought, okay, I don't have a ton of money. How am I going to find hundreds of thousands of dollars to invest in these properties? But after listening to so many different stories, talking to people who have built their own portfolios, starting with little to no money down and understanding all the creative financing processes and different tricks of the trade to make things happen, it made me really believe that I can do this for myself and that you can too. So now that you believe that you can make this a possibility for yourself and for your family and your loved ones, let's talk about the very first steps that I took. So I spent the last couple of weeks just drinking from a fire hose and looking at all these different sources, podcasts, things like that. I think the first thing that you have to do is drown yourself in all the materials so you can figure out what terms people are using, pick up what certain things mean, and just hear a lot of other investors' stories to see all the different pathways that people have made real estate investing work for them. If you looked up anything about real estate investing, you will have heard of BiggerPockets. And the BiggerPockets Real Estate Podcast is what I have been listening to nonstop. It just really breaks down how different people have been able to make real estate investing work for them. It also provides tidbits of information that will come in handy in the future. And more importantly, I think it just shows you that you can really come from any background, any profession, lifestyle, and figure out how to become a real estate investor. So that would be my first step. Go through and listen to some BiggerPockets podcast, watch some videos on YouTube. All right, I want to pop in and show you how much of a rabbit hole I went down when I was looking at different real estate resources. Just take a look at this with me, if you will. I bought all of these. That's my first stack. And then I bought some more. So yes, it's a lot of stuff. Hopefully I will get through all of this. But the first one that I want to talk about is this one. This is the book that I started with. It's by Brandon Turner. It's called Investing in Real Estate with No and Low Money Down. And this was so helpful just to get an overview of all the different types of options there are out there in real estate investing. I'll go through very quickly of everything that I've learned by reading this thing over here, but obviously get the book and read it yourself to learn all the ins and outs. The first thing that I think is really important is for anyone who's planning on buying a home for themselves. I use this strategy unknowingly, but if you've heard of the term house hacking, basically what it is finding a property that has multiple bedrooms that you can rent out while also living there. And from the payments that you get from your roommates, you'll be able to cover part or most of the mortgage payment. Obviously, this comes with sacrifice. I think the older that you get, the more you get used to living by your own standards and not sharing things compared to maybe when you're straight out of college. So I think that is definitely a sacrifice, but if you are willing to do it, it can seriously pay you back so much in the future. I did this myself unknowingly when I got my first condo. It was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath in Midtown Atlanta. And I had roommates throughout that entire time, but the rent that I charged them really helped me pay down the mortgage and helped me build equity within that property. So even now, if I were able to use that property for a home equity line of credit, there's just so many options that open up for you if that first property is house hacked and you get it and fill it with roommates that can help you pay your mortgage. This book also goes through different types of financing options, using hard money lenders, using a home equity line of credit, how to use them, what strategies and when you should use them, which I thought was really important, and how to raise private money on your own. I think even when reading this chapter, I was thinking, okay, how the heck will I be able to get somebody to invest in me and the deals that I'm putting together? But I realized from even the past couple weeks, every time I talk to somebody, I tell them that I'm working on building my investment portfolio. And you do not know how many doors open when you even just bring that up in conversation. Other people will say, yeah, me too, I'm interested in real estate investing, but don't know where to start. Or other people will let you know that they have money saved up, but just don't even know where to put their money. So they're kind of stuck there, which is a great opportunity for you to become an expert in these deals, understanding how to analyze them, and then later seeing if they want to partner up. And there's lots of details and how to do that in here too. Another thing that I thought was really interesting that I hadn't known too much about before was doing lease options. Basically, what a lease option is, if I put it simply, is you get a lease for the property with the option to purchase it in the future. And so there's a lot of things that you can do within that first lease option to make the deal work out for you, which was something I just had never heard about before that I thought was interesting, as well as understanding how to do seller financing, wholesaling, and working with syndications. So these were all kind of new to me. I had heard about wholesaling before. I went to an investor meetup not too long ago where somebody taught me about syndications. I plan on doing maybe weekly updates to just go through some of the things I learned and resources that I can share with you guys. I won't be going in too deep because you will need to do the work in order to understand it, but just to document and keep me accountable to continue to keep learning and push myself into real estate investing. Again, I will put these resources in the description box below, and feel free to connect with me on here, on Instagram, if you want to just talk through what our investment goals are and keep each other accountable.